Hey everyone, welcome to the Virtual Investor. It's Michael and Paul, and we're going to do a deal review or two here. Just go over a couple of different. I think it's two different deals, right, Mike? That we're going over here.
Definitely do one. Maybe we'll open another one. Sure, see where it goes.
Yeah, let's go over the not Midland, Texas, but Midland, Michigan. Which
Correct.
there was a Midland, Michigan one. Why don't you go through the numbers on that?
We've bought a few in that Midland, Odessa area recently and over the years. So this one's actually in Michigan when we talk about Midland here.
Yeah.
And it's a more rural area. So I will share my screen. Share screen and do the entire screen. Here we go. Paul, can you see it?
I'm still seeing us for some reason. Let's
Okay.
Here, present slides. Screen share. Okay, maybe. I'm not sure why I'm not seeing it. It's weird. Let's see, screen sharing was canceled. No, it wasn't canceled.
We'll try it again.
Yep.
All right. Can you see it now?
Oh, here we go. Here we go.
Perfect. Must hit the wrong button then. All right. So here we have Xome open, and with this property, kind of start from the beginning. This is a property we've recently won and have under auction. As you can see here, it's under contract with us. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath property, a little over 1,500 square feet. A little 2-car garage there to the side of the house. And overall, you need some exterior work. Maybe
but it's overall good.
It's overall good. You know, just some yard cleanup. Depending on how close some of the trees are to the house, you might have to remove one or two of them or the branches. Probably have to take down the fence potentially or replace it. Can't tell. Probably replace the fence, obviously.
Yeah.
This photo. Inside flooring's not terrible. New paint will do wonders to a property like this if you want to rehab it. Again, flooring's still pretty good. Just new paint would do wonders in some of these rooms. Kitchen, new appliances, new countertops. Cabinets are in good shape, so you could paint them, or if you like that color oak, keep it as is. And then continuing, flooring for the most part is okay in this property.
Yeah, the big question will be the heating. Is that baseboard electronic heat or hydronic heat, where water, where there could be multiple? If they didn't winterize a property, it could have multiple pops in it, and that gets pricey sometimes to repair.
Yeah. So, before we share the numbers, this is something that we looked at recently. So what's the next step? And, here's the listing on Xome. So if we actually go to the comps here, Paul, can you see my comp screen now?
I can see your comp screen. Yep.
All right, perfect. Just making sure it's moving along as I do. And, this is just a quick general initial area that we drew a box. It's pretty rural, so you could go wider than you would in the city, where you only want to look out maybe a few blocks north, south, east, and west of your property. And, we narrowed it down, making sure we're only looking at houses. We're going to make sure, since it's 1,500 square feet, we're going to start with a tighter range, plus or minus 250 square feet either way. And we'll open up to 12 months because it's rural, and, we could jump around to 6 months and sooner to see how the pricing has changed in that market over time.
Yep.
And initially you can see looks like a new construction home. This is going for $415. So high pricing there. And then you have a bunch of other properties in the twos for the most part. They're different style than ours. All these are ranchers. Ours is more of a colonial. So it's not apples to apples per se. However, with numbers in the mid twos to low twos on properties such as this with similar square footage. So if you click on this one, see if any photos, no photos of this one.
But we at least have similar square footage numbers.
We do. And pro tip, if Zillow doesn't actually have photos, like in this case on some of the properties, you could copy the address, Google it, and check realtor.com or Redfin sometimes, and they will have photos. I don't know why there's inconsistency between the sites, but for what I've been noticing a lot lately is, in some states, the agents are taking the photos down on Zillow, but they remain up on realtor.com.
Yeah.
So it's a good way to don't quit there, kind of like jump around to those different sites. But I think when we were looking at it, Paul, ARVs, after talking to a local agent on one of these properties, we're in the twos for our property easily. Yeah. So if you think about, rough math off the top of your head real quick, the 70% rule, right? If you're at the mid twos, and you times it by 0.7, and then you subtract, a property like this, 1,500 square feet, if it needs full rehab, it could be 50 to 60K, right?
Right.
So, something mid twos times 70 minus 50 or 60K, you're in the ones on as is value, essentially what you want to buy it as a rehabber. And this property here is I think the opening bid was like in the 50s or 60s, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, I think it was in the 50s.
Yeah. So right away, you're like, okay, I just spent basically 2 minutes comping for you live here. This is a property we should pursue. And that's when you kind of reach out to the local agent, get more information on it. Are the numbers I'm seeing here, you're the local expert, or is that what you're seeing in the market? And from there, you could kind of continue to do your due diligence. Now, when we comped the property, we were looking at wider square feet and different slices of data. Low comp here is 126. In our analysis, we were saying worst case scenario, what if as is 100? Yeah. And if we bid at 70 max bid, we know we're walking away with a 23% return on our money after a few months, which is, would net us after holding costs and private lender fees about 17K. So that's a quick, easy rehab. That's what we placed our max bid just to get it into the auction in time. We were the highest bidder. We came back with information from the realtor. The realtor saying the as-is value is actually 130.
Yeah.
Makes the numbers a lot better. And our plan is here, obviously now not to rehab it since we're buying at this number. Do no work, buy, relist on the MLS. That's your nice profit return right there, 61% on your money over 3 months, and then 45K return net profit after paying out everything else. So that's an example of a recent Michigan deal that we have in the pipeline right now, recently won at auction. So Paul, did I miss anything kind of going through the overview there?
No, that was really, really good high level analysis there on it. And yeah, like these don't happen too often where we pick up something for 70 and the realtor has the as-is value at 130. It's a 50K spread there, right? So we know we're good with that one. I think, Mike, you and I were initially thinking around 90 to 100 in that range.
Yeah, I was saying worst case 100, and that's kind of what we had in here. So now, that's a really good return. So if we know our floors call it a 17, and hey, if the agent's right, and this is our max, again, too many zeros.
We generally go more conservative, you and I do, when we're doing
exactly.
We go a little bit lower, and that way we're happy on the upside, if anything. Plus, we're protected from the downside should the market shift during this time period where we have it.
Yeah.
And then also not rehabbing it is key for us. We want to go back to, as the market's shifting here, more wholesaling, just selling it as is and not doing it. And maybe we clean it up. Maybe we send somebody in there with a dumpster and throw the stuff that's in there out, that kind of thing. Anything that looks bad, but that's really all we probably want to do with it. Because what's likely to happen, if that is hydronic baseboard heat, there's likely going to be broken pipes in there, which is going to be a lot of repairs. And I've had experience in the past of spending 12 to 15,000 to replace those. And I just don't want to get involved. Let's let another investor worry about who's going to rehab it. They're going to still get a good return. We're going to get a good return, and we're done with the deal. So
yeah. And I know I was talking formulas. I wasn't showing them earlier when I was talking about the 70% rule. So I just typed some things down here. If we go back to here, again, we're seeing properties 110 to 140. So if we go back to here and we said our ARV is 225, right?
Mm-hmm.
At 70%, I entered in there and I said, if we need a full rehab, just based on interior, nothing mechanical like Paul was talking about, low end 40K. Let's just say we find other stuff wrong, like a roof or a heater. Let's just do 60K here. Quick rule of thumb on, rehabber, are they going to make money, or where they should bid around before you kind of do more due diligence like this here left, is saying, 97K is your as-is value. And again, that is the number.
It coincides with your number, Mike, of the 100K.
Coincides our number that we were just talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Now, talking to the agent, it seems like the values are a little bit higher, and then we probably don't need that extra work that we were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how they came up with the 130. But as we said earlier, we're erring on the side of caution, especially with everything going around in the macro environment with lending and mortgage rates and supply and demand. So we took the low end of the range, and we could live with that.
Totally. It's just a shifting, and we're just going to shift as the market shifts, and protect ourselves as much as we can. But no, in worst case scenario, this is probably worth around 100K, between 95 and 100K, what you have here to a fix and flipper, we should be in pretty good shape.
Absolutely.
Still move it and still make 20 some thousand, even with a realtor commission on it.
Absolutely. Which we have embedded in here already in our numbers.
Yep. Which is perfect. Awesome.